Good evening and happy Friday night in the James's Chainsaw Workshop shed, everybody. As you can see, I have got the 268 apart again because a nice man, Mr. Bumpkin Rocks, thank you very much, mentioned that these O-rings for the oil pump are still available. And they are. There's a wonderful company in the UK called L&S Engineers who do all of this OE stuff. And they are, I don't know, about £2.70 each. So I bought 5. So yeah, there's the other 4 that I bought. There's the part number, if anyone wants them. There. And as you can see, I've labelled the bag because they're going in my special box with carb kits and all sorts of stuff in there. So yeah, if any of you haven't had one of these apart before, that's where it goes. And it's a bit of a silly system really, isn't it? You can see that you've got the main crank seal there, which is in the water pump. So there's the crank. So if you don't know, obviously that's the crank bearing. So mixture can come and pressure. You know, bearing isn't sealed, so they can come through. So on most saws, the crank seal seals that. But the crank seal on most saws would just be in there, sealing it against the crankcase. But on this 2 Series, on these 2 Series saws, it's not. You've got the oil pump. So the inner side is sealed with the normal crank seal, but then you've got the O-ring, which seals it on this edge. So I have cleaned all of this with brake cleaner. We've got our new O-ring on there. The old O-ring, look at that, beautiful. The old O-ring, let's see if we can find the old O-ring, was dirty. I didn't even know it was there. So when I put it all back together, it's difficult to see. There were some bits. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Can we focus? No. Maybe you can just see there. There were a few lines in it. It's obviously... Oh, hang on. You can see there. There's a little split in it. Maybe. Don't know if you can see that. Sorry, guys. Don't know if you can see that. There is a split in it. So, yeah, it's not the best. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to go and put this back together. Try and find my little bit of plastic that I used last time to get this crank seal to slide on there. So because of this step down here, if you've not seen, there's far better videos on the internet than I could make, but you need to put a bit of plastic or something, thin plastic or something, over this, like a cone, so that when you slide the crank seal on like that, then it doesn't just sit on that ridge. So I'm going to go and find the bit of plastic I used last time, or make a new one, and get that installed, and then let's re-pressure test. There you go, guys. I just used this little bit of bottle. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So yeah, obviously what you do, I've pushed this down in place now. Obviously what I do is then pull this out, but I'm going to put a screw in first before I pull it out, just to make sure that it doesn't lift up as I pull it out. But just want to show you that. It's just a little bit of 2-stroke oil bottle actually that I've cut off. There you go. Hopefully you can see that. And I shall bring you back out when we've got it back on. So there we go. I've just pulled that back out like that. And you can see, if I can get you to focus, probably can't. And get your focus in there, you can see that shoulder that's on the end of the crank just sits above that seal. So we're all good, hopefully. So let me plug back up my very advanced pressure tester, which is actually a bike pump, and let's see if she's holding pressure a bit better now. Okay. So we are up to pressure. So this is a really janky old bike pump. So it sits at 10 psi anyway, and it's just over 40. So I've got way too much pressure in there, really. Should only put about 12 psi in there. So I think there's about 30 psi in there. But as you can see, that needle is not moving. So let's remember where it is. So it's just on this side. It's just on the left-hand side of the 0. Let's go and look up at the saw, and then we'll come back and see if it's moved. So here you go. All back together. Oh, some people have asked about this actually. So it's literally a pump, and I've just cut the end off, the fitting on the end of the pump here. And then this fitting here is an old spark plug. Oh, Vintage Engine Repairs, the Aussie guy, has got a really good video on it. You basically just uncrimp the ceramic off an old spark plug, pull the middle out, and then epoxy in just a cheap little fitting. It's so easy to do. So you can really make a tester for about 20 quid, not even that really. So I've got that going in there, and I've literally just got some rubber I've bought from Amazon clamped on the intake and clamped in the exhaust. So you remember this was leaking last time. I've done that up a bit more, and I guess it's not leaking anymore. So if we look back at that now, I think that needle's still in exactly the same position. So we can do a bit of a, we can spray our, well, I can't see any bubbles now. Can anyone? No bubbles. I'm going to call that fixed. It's not even coming out of here anymore like it was before. So that's good. And that needle still hasn't moved. And that's 30 psi in there. So I'm saying she's got no air leaks now. What do you think, guys? I think that's fixed. So we've done the 2 crank seals and that O-ring. So yeah, I think all I need to do is get it back together and get the old clutch back on it, and we can run it. Let's run it. See if the finger ports actually do anything. How exciting is this? Right, I'll put you back on the tripod and we can have a bit of a gossip, and then yeah, let's talk about some other stuff. Shush, compressor. Yes, so hopefully, thank you to Bumpkin Rocks for telling me that those O-rings are available. That's super cool. And thank you to everyone who told me that O-ring existed, which I didn't know. I think that's fixed now with 30 psi in it. Still got 30 psi in it, still holding. So I think that's done. I can pull that off actually. If you listen, you can hear it. There you go. That was all the pressure. Super exciting. I feel really good. I feel like that's a solid saw now. Thank you very much for that, guys. So yeah, it's Friday night. It's my birthday on Monday. I think I'm going saw picking tomorrow, so maybe there'll be a video up about that. Exciting stuff if it works out. A little birthday present for me. I've been a good boy this year. Yeah, so stay tuned, because I'll definitely do a video on that if all that works out tomorrow. Yeah, lots of stuff in the pipeline that I can't really tell you about now, but stay tuned, because there's lots of stuff coming. Hopefully we'll go and run that if we can. I really want to get cutting this weekend, but I'm limited on time. And yes, Englishmen moaning about the weather again, or Welshmen moaning about the weather again. But yeah, all my cutting sites are just swamps at the moment. So we'll see. But stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Give us a subscribe if you're not subscribed and you made this far. If you made it this far, you clearly like my videos, so you should definitely subscribe. And we'll see you again soon on the next video. Thank you for watching.